Hey, Tessa from MamasGeeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
Hey, Jason, I'm Tessa with MamasGeeky.com. So excited to see you back this season. So we thought that might not happen. So how did it feel when you first realized you were coming back?
I was very excited because I love the show so much, and I was also nervous because I knew that Pat had done some bad things. There's something about at the end of the last season being revealed and then being like, oh, everything's crazy, and then he's just dead or out or destroyed or something. And I was really excited to be able to join all these characters again. And I thought they did a great job of navigating what it would be like to try to step back into that group of people after lying to them all for years and killing some of their loved ones, attempting to kill their children potentially. It was exciting to see what they had written for my character.
Hi again. I'd love to know how you would describe season 2 in 3 words.
Oh, bigger. I'm not another thing. 3 words and stuff. I guess I would say next level Dion.
So I feel like all of the roles that you've really played are very like nice guy comedy. So what is it like stepping into these villain shoes? Because obviously like a lot of the first season, you're very hands-on and loving. And then it's like, bam, oh my gosh. So what is it like playing the villain?
It was so fun. I really have to say it was a lot of fun. And I think playing a lot of the nice guy parts and things like that in comedies, I feel like I wish I could say that that's who I really am. And, and I'm not a big crooked man, lightning guy either. But I think there's something that is sort of refreshing about being able to show some of my pettier sides and like the parts of me that are selfish or feel like, oh, I wish I had gotten that or I should have done that. Any of those little emotions that I'm not proud of, that I try to hide away from the world and just be like, no, please, everybody like me. That's please. It was really nice to play this character that had the same desire to be liked that I did, but had those other elements in him as well. And then just to really lean into him at a certain point was a lot of fun, sort of cathartic in a way. So that I don't in my own life have to become a big lightning man.
So what are you most excited to explore with your character in season 2?
I think the thing that I was most excited to explore is, he has this idea of himself at the beginning of the second season that this crooked energy came in and made him do all these bad things. But now I'm okay. And now I'm trying to help and I'm a good guy and all these things. But the thing about Pat is that he does have these things that are his own flaws that have nothing to do with any kind of supernatural element, any kind of feeling of that other people are moving faster than him in their career or their romantic lives or any of the jealousies or all that's just Pat, and all of the lying and trying to, justifying in his own head of like, well, I can't tell people this because then they'll do this, and I just want to control everybody's idea of how they feel about me. It's really interesting to have someone like that be, first of all, revealed to the world as to who they are, but then also to also try to, he has a really hard time trying to understand that it's both of them together. I think a lot of us like to blame something else. Oh, well, that night I was angry, or that something bad had happened to me that day, so that's why I acted like that. So that's not really me. And you can't really do a full good apology when you're not taking full accountability. And I think accountability is something that's a tough for Pat, tough for a lot of people. And I thought it was really fun to play this guy who is trying to get everyone to trust him again, but already has, lied to all these people. And there's some things he's a complicated guy. So I'm excited to see how people respond to Pat this time around, whether the actions of the first season completely color him for all of it, or, I've already seen some people are super willing and wanting to forgive him and have an explanation that they can go, okay, so that's what I thought. You are a good person. You just had this bad thing. So it's fun to have this character where there's no kind of wrong interpretation of him as a watcher of the show. I really enjoyed seeing people hate Pat even earlier than I thought they would. I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool. It's just fun. It's exciting, and I enjoy that there's not like a raising Dion stamp of approval of how you're supposed to feel about every character. They're complicated.
I guess I want to know, how is the dynamic on set, especially working with all the kids? They were like adorable watching all of them too. So I wanted to know that.
They are so great. All of them are so great. And Griffin, who plays Braden, is a lot more fun and outgoing than his character was. So all four of them are just awesome. And Sammy in particular, who plays Esperanza, is just so funny, like just out and out hilarious. And she'll just say things that are completely out of left field. And the three of them, especially Gavin and Josiah and Sammy, have such a special relationship off camera. They're constantly making little commercials for Raising Dion and like putting it on their Instagrams. And I'm like, who's editing all of this? How are you guys doing it? And they really have their own triangle of justice there. But they're just so much fun. I had so much fun last season working with them all more. This time I was with Braden a lot, with Griffin, and he was really great. He had some very good questions about the crooked energy and how it all feels and goes down. And he was also very good at acting with nothing, with what would eventually be a smoky, scary energy monster guy. He really, all of the kids have that ability to imagine what will be special effects later. I still have trouble with that. But their imagination is so still intact that they can really go there in their brains. And when they put it in later, you fully believe that they're seeing what they're seeing, which is nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Tessa Smith with MamasGeeky.com here. Love this season, but I'd love to know what it was like on set. Did you guys have to deal with a lot of the pandemic when filming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. The pandemic was
yeah.
a thing. It was definitely a thing when we were shooting, but they put in protocols to make everyone feel really safe. And, besides that, I had the, luxury of knowing everyone before. So season 2, we had that foundation. And so I feel like, I kind of felt a little bad for folks like Rome, who were new to the game and maybe didn't get to spend as much time with everyone outside of work, but we made the most
True.
of it while we were on set. And I think, I'm just glad our show got made,
Yeah.
because through adversity, you get a little scared, but at the end of the day, like Netflix was enthusiastic to make our show and we just had to wait a little bit before we could actually do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had to wait on me. That's what happened. No, I'm kidding. They would have made this show without me. I'm just thankful that I was able to be a part of it. But yeah, I mean, the pandemic affected everybody. But especially on set, because if any one of the actors get sick, like that's the show, you know what I mean? And thankfully, like we didn't have that problem. Like everybody was really responsible and we wore our mask and did all the tedious things that, we didn't want to do, but we had to do in the sake of the show because the people wanted the show and they needed it. And so it needed to come out. And so I feel like Netflix did a great job with implementing certain things to make sure we were safe and got it done.
I'd love to know what drew you both to your roles and why did you want to be a part of this series?
Well, for me, I came on, obviously at the very beginning, and I had never seen anything like it. When I first read for it, I actually didn't know that there was like a teaser trailer or that there was a comic book. I just thought it was its own kind of thing. And I had never seen anything like it with this set of people, with like Black people, and it's in Atlanta, and it's, you know, rooted in this way where it's like a little kid, you know, it's not like they're a teen, it's not anything like that. It's like he's in elementary school. And so I had never seen anything like it. And then when they asked me to be a part of it, I just felt so privileged to be able to pioneer a show like this. And so now, you know, I get to see the fruits of my labor. People are very responsive. They're very happy about the show. They're excited for season 2 to come out. And it just makes me feel really proud to be a part of this show. And I also really respect and appreciate Netflix for being able to help make the show a reality so that people can enjoy it.
Yeah,
All right.
for me, it's just been a joy. I mean, what drew me to the role of many things, but mainly what this show represents. There's also the sci-fi aspect, but there's the real family aspect, and having to be able to work opposite of Alisha and, you know, Josiah, and there's so many things I'm like, yeah, I would love to, you know, and I'm like super happy I'm able to do it.
My question for you is there someone or something that you got inspiration for your characters from?
Yes, my mother. She's a single mom. She did her very best throughout my entire life to have me not see any kind of struggle. And I think that's absolutely what I've implemented into how I portray Nicole, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I could also say my mother, but I think for me, I really didn't draw from any real inspiration. I wanted to draw from the lack thereof experience in my life. I feel like probably having a male figure when I was younger, to have someone like Tevin, I didn't. So I just thought about what that would be like and what that relationship would look like, you know, if I was a kid. And I think that kind of helped me shape, you know, Tevin's approach into how he wanted to talk to Dion about just everyday life stuff.
Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.